bring it down to this corner. Once again, you can see the lines are not dark. It's very light strokes, because if I want to erase right now, it won't be visible after that. So what have we done? We just made a line like this, and then we went down this angle, the steep angle like this. Okay. We'll do the same thing from the other side, but this time it will be in the opposite manner. That is, first time we started the sleep angle from the left side. This time it's going to be from the right side. Okay. We get it to this corner, but this time you're not joining it. Okay. Remember, we'll just keep it just about this point. Right. Why not join it? Because there's another part which is usually missed here. That is our tear duct. Okay. So how do we draw that? For that, we'll just continue the same line, the same angle we have here below this first line we drew, just below that. Okay. Now see where this line is. Look at your screens, everyone. First, observe what I'm doing. We have this line right here. Okay. If I just put a vertical line right here, just a very light for just to make a guideline, this angle would be slightly below that, then come back up. You see, I'll just get you guys closer. This way you won't mess up the proportions for this. Make sure the lines are very, very light. Okay. Vinuta, for you, I would say slightly hold your pencil from back. It will help you to get less amount of pressure on your pencil. Okay. Cool. So after that, we'll just draw the back side, the skin area. And for this portion, if you observe, we have almost the same angles and the same follow-up after that. Okay. We want to do a slight adjustment here. All right. See, at this point, from this side, okay, we have joined this to the line, right? And we have the upper line joining in also here. We can extend the first line from the upper side slightly. Okay. Now we have it extended. And we can take a stroke from this point, and this will help us create an inner lining for the lower side. This is where the eyelashes for the lower side will grow from. Because right now, this is the close up for the eye. Instead of drawing the normal, far perspective, we're going in close and we're trying to observe as many details as possible. Yes, Vinusa, it's going good. Come on, what happened to rest of the people? Guys, turn on your cameras. We need interaction in this class. All right, cool, cool. See, we need to add slightly more areas for the skin. So that'll be from the lower side. Once again, we'll follow the same lines. Okay. Yeah, one here, second one right here. And you see the strokes are very light. I'll just try to darken them up for you guys. But in your drawing, you can just keep it very light. Just right here. I have two of them. All right. Look, I'll show you guys something. So this is the reference we're using. This is one of my drawings, and this is like 4 or 5 hour drawing. See, as much time you spend on a drawing, you're able to get more and more details on it. And this is kind of a rough work for me. So the thing is, we try to observe from reference to reference because there's always going to be different lengths, as in of the eyebrows when the emotion changes. You know, when you're angry, it slightly happens to tilt, or just when you're surprised, it kind of goes up or down, you know. So expressions change, the distance also changes. So how do you compare that? It's very simple. So for now, I'll just try to take an assumption with my pencil to the top of the eye to the bottom. I'll just see, okay. So what is it? It just goes the same distance from the top of the eye to the bottom of the eye. When I place it again on the top portion, I get the lower side of the eyebrows. This is how you make comparison. All right, now what? I have placed the pencil as in an imaginary line from the starting of the tear duct. So that gives me the first portion completed. After that is the second portion of the eyebrow. I'll tell you guys about it later on. So this is the second portion. For now, we know the eyebrows extend after that also. We have a couple of guidelines to use now, as we learned about slight comparison here. So what are we going to do? You take the measurement from the top of the eye to the bottom and place it up again. Okay, sorry, once again. Have it right here. See, once again, it's a very rough comparison. Okay, it doesn't need to be like millimeter accurate. All right. Now I'm going to create an imaginary guideline from here, which we just saw on the reference. So we have a straight line going up. Now we know the lower side of the eyebrow. Just create a line like this. For now, we'll just keep it straight. And this is the portion. Even after this, we have to extend the eyebrows. So we'll just slightly extend it, not too much. Okay. Now let's check the angle of this. So if I put my pencil down here, is it straight? Eyebrows are not straight, it's slightly angled. You see? Right? In a slight angle to this line. What does that mean? We have this line already marked, right? So the eyebrows are not going to be completely straight over this portion. Is it fine? So it's going to be slightly tilted. So what do? We just adjust this line like this. All right. You see how we're holding a pencil to make sure the strokes are light, and I erase this off. You won't be able to tell if there was any line before. Comparison to if you had made dark lines, you wouldn't be able to take it off easily.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Can you like repeat the above step, that is above
This
eyebrows? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you want the
The
measurement process
measurement.
also.
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
measurement,
fine, fine,
measurement.
fine. So what we did is we just compared it to the reference, right? So comparison can be done anyway. I can either take like the top of this fold also, which will give me the top of the eyebrows. Okay, it is just how you compare. It'll always change according to the perspective you have. I can also take the measurement from this side and just compare it from this side also. Okay, it'll just keep changing. You just have to learn the method. That is what I'm trying to imply here. You learn the techniques and apply it in your own drawings also. Okay, so what we did here, we just took the measurement from the top of the eye, not the fold, the eye, to the bottom portion, then again to the top. So we have the lower portion for the eyebrows. All right, now if I do the same thing on my drawing, I'll just place my pencil from the top of the eye to the bottom and then again up. So I have this mark, then I slightly tilted this line. Okay, instead of keeping it straight, we have it slightly tilted. So we have got the lower side of the eyebrows. Right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, cool. See, after that, once again, we'll do a slight comparison. You see, I'll place an imaginary line from the corner of the eye towards the eyebrows, right? What do we have here? There's a slight change of the angle here. You see, it's not going straight. We have a slight angle change. And where does that angle change come? Till the corner of the eye. So we'll just do the same thing. We'll just have an imaginary line from here. All right. So very short portion. We have our three sections for the eyebrows. Is everyone following up? Give me a quick thumbs up so that I know everyone's following up with me. Yes, I want fastest fingers first. Cool, cool. Thank you. Thank you for the responses. So we'll just go back. So we'll just add another line following the same angle of this. Once again, this portion will differ, the measurement will differ according to your reference. Some people have thicker eyebrows, some have thinner eyebrows. So once again, we'll do comparison. Okay, so how do we do that? For example, I'll just take a rough measurement for the top of the eye and the fold. I'll see, okay, is this, it's almost the same distance, right? So let's do the same thing. I can take this distance and it's once again the same. All right. You just need to see it by yourself. No one's going to be able to tell you how you have to compare it. So after that, we'll go ahead and work on this portion from the inner side. We had this mark, right, where the line ended, first line. We'll just join it to the lower section. Okay. So we have first division here. And after that, we have another one, just right after that fold or the skin we drew for the inner side. Okay. This portion right here, these two divisions. Okay. And remember, once again, I keep reminding you guys, maybe some of you might get irritated. I'm just saying that make sure the strokes are very light. Okay. Just in case you mess up, you will be able to take it off easily. All right. Heading back, just erase these two guidelines. So let's take a rough assumption of, we'll divide this line into two halves. You see, I'll just keep doing this. So we have the half right here at this point. Do the same thing. Don't use a scale. I don't want anyone in my class using a scale or anything. Cool, cool. Swati's done a really good job. I like how focused everyone is on the drawings. Cool, cool. So after we draw this circle portion, I'm going to check on everyone's drawing. So be ready and kind of try to quickly follow up with this. you see, I've added another line from the inner side. This is once again kind of the repetition which we did from the lower side, right? So what we are gonna do here, we're gonna add a circle to the iris. Now remember, most of people tend to make the whole circle inside the eye. Okay, that is what makes the eye look weird, because that is not the usual case. It'll be only when a subject as in the person you're drawing, when the person is surprised or in a shock, right? Then only you'll be able to see the whole circle or the iris. For now, we have to keep a part of it hidden or just behind this portion. That means you can draw the circle just after this portion also. Make sure the strokes are very, very light from the back end. So I've just erased this portion of the guideline. Now let's just erase this one also, because this might confuse a lot of people. I'll just say it after this, why it will do it. A lot of people tend to draw the other circle just on that line only. We have to draw another circle just inside this portion, but make sure this part of the circle remains in the center of the larger portion. Okay, it's not supposed to be on that cross or the division of the line we had drawn earlier. Okay, so we have a circle and also a highlight from the side. See, the shape of the highlights and the size of the highlights will always change according to the reference. Okay, so we have a highlight here, and that completes the outline for our drawing. You see, it took us like, I guess, half an hour for this, but I guess it was worth it. Come on, everyone, quickly give me a look over your drawings. I just want to take a look at everyone's work. Quick, 3, 2, 1. Quickly, quickly. Come on. Yes, Pavitra has done good. Tanya, yes. All right, good, good. Swati, yes, you're following up from the start. Good. Swati, see, this is what I was saying. When I say, like, take the circle out slightly, what we tend to forget is it's actually a circle. You get me what I'm saying? So, considering you thought, like, I have to take a part of it outside, you forgot that this is a circle actually. So, it means the length or the height of the circle should be equal to the width, right? It's right now looking like an oval shape. Okay, we need to slightly adjust it. What you can do is, you have joined the circle right here, you can extend it from the upper side. Okay, and from the lower side you can just close in quickly instead of just keeping this portion thicker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cool. Yes, about everyone else, Pratiksha is doing good. Pratiksha, we need a slight adjustment at this point. You see, I said this portion is supposed to be slightly, a slight angle is supposed to be here at this point. You see, it's very harsh in your drawing. Yeah, yeah, this portion. So just adjust that. Ayush, Ayush is doing good. Ayush is doing really good. Yeah, Ayush is doing good. Tanishwari. Okay, can you just bring it up to your drawing? Yes. Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good. Good. We're going good. I guess everyone's just following up really good. Akila, Ria, and Shravani. Cool, cool, cool. Great. See, I'm happy seeing all of these results. What about you, Sandeep? Sing. All right, cool. So I have looked up onto everyone's work. Yeah. Don't turn off your cameras, guys. Come on. Now this is selfish. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for holding out your drawings. I took a look at everyone's drawing. Just head back because we have to finish in time. Cool. So quickly tell me, do you have different graded pencils or you're just using an HB pencil? Different graded pencils as in 2B, 3B, 4B pencils. Just send a yes if you have different graded pencils. And a no, of course, if you don't.
I have a pens of different grades and densities.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use that?
Yeah, that's only what I'm saying. Right. See. This kind of thing, right?
I don't have pencils, I have pens.
Pens.
Yeah.
So like they are different darkness.
Yes, yes.
See, why we are using different pencils is just to make sure we have different values. But the pens are going to do a slight issue because we need to be able to make you understand how the shades are to be done. I'm just saying this for you. Otherwise, you will be able to get some result. But I make sure you get the techniques well. So we'll just stick with the HP pencil if you have it. You have an HP pencil.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll just work with this one. So for those who don't have an HB pencil, who don't have different graded pencils, what we'll do is when I say we have to shade some portion light or just use an HB or a B pencil, you can just use this pencil and hold your pencil from the back end so that you apply less pressure on the paper. And when I say dark, like too dark, we'll just use it from this point and apply as much pressure as possible so that we can get the darkest tone out of a pencil. Okay, so that we'll be able to vary the contrast or the values in our drawing, right? This is for those people who don't have different graded pencils. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and use different grades of pencils we have. So I'm going to go in first with a 5B pencil, and we're going to completely darken the inner circle. If you have any confusions anywhere, you do not understand a step, you just tell me or just write it on the chat. I'm keeping an eye on that. So feel free, however way it's possible for you. So zoom, please. Okay, I have zoomed. I just need to work. That's why I'm just keeping it slightly far away to keep the focus on the drawing. Now, after this portion, we're going to go in from the upper side and I'm going to darken this line. Make sure it doesn't go from the upper side. It's, we'll just talk about that later on. I'll surely talk about it, all the things. But for now, we'll just focus on this drawing. You see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of making an outline for this. Don't darken too much from the lower side. So we have these portions done, right? Now, after that, what we're going to do is we're going to build up slight texture till the ends of this circle like this. How do we do that, sir? This is confusing. No, this is very easy actually. See, what you have to do is, this is a circle, right? You have shaded this portion of the circle. You have to just make these lines. What are these lines? Simply, you put your pencil down and pull up. You end up with one thick end and thinner end, right? Just like this, right? You make these strokes on the end of the circle, but very close. I'm just making it slightly distance to make sure everyone sees it. I'm just repeating the same process alongside the circle. It'll give us a slight texture, actually an illusion for the depth we need here. All right. So after this is done, we're going to repeat the same process from the other end. That is the end of this circle, but this is from the inner side this time. Remember, while you're doing this, we need slight variation of length. What do I mean by that? See, from this point, you're seeing this texture, same texture we're drawing right now, right? But the thing is, the length is varying, right? I have this length, the stroke is long up until here, but the other point, it's very short. So varying this gives you a natural effect. Otherwise, if I had kept it consistent alongside, there won't be any variation. It doesn't look natural that way. So what I have done is like slightly long, then again short, then again long slightly, then again very short, then again very, like you kind of vary this thing. It gives you more of natural effects, right? It is the same rule with the hairs, with every texture you build. Same thing applies. Now, this is a tricky portion. Some of the people might commit a mistake here. Look at your screens quickly. So, the thing is, quickly, you'll head back to your drawings after this. Just give me a second. See, right here, some people might outline this highlight and then shade around it. But that ruins the whole moment of making it look realistic because we don't want any outlines in our drawings. So, for that, what you have to do, you just simply shade around the highlight. Don't work inside that portion, but don't also outline that portion. Okay, that's all. For the upper portion, we make smaller strokes. I'll make you understand why. For now, just draw very, very small strokes like this. If you have done this, See, why we drew smaller strokes there was the reason that is we started these lines at the end of the circle, right? It's not what is visible, it's the end of the circle. You have to observe everything that's happening. So actually, the lines will be starting, or the texture will be actually behind this portion, right? This portion right here. It'll be just ending at this portion here. So that is why only a slight portion of it is visible. So make sure you repeat the same thing. These small changes will introduce big results in your drawings later on. All right. All right. After this, see, we are using an HP pencil to make sure the strokes, once again, if we mess up, we can easily erase. We're going to build up slight texture. This is kind of a diamond shape. You have seen how we draw a diamond in cartoon shape, right? We make this kind of shape. One second. Yeah. So we draw this shape, right? For the diamond, usually this one. But for here, we're going to use the same shape, but we'll have one end open. Okay. Like this. But the open end first will face towards the inner circle. What I'm saying is we have this end, this open end facing towards the circle this time. Once again, the rule I said in the beginning, we need variation in the size of it and also the distance in between the shapes. So you should not keep the same distance between this shape and this one. We need separation as well as variation of the size to make sure, everything looks natural. Just a couple of them would be fine. Don't fill in all of the portions with this. All right. After you have done this, okay, we'll just do the same thing from the other end. That is, this time the open end will be facing towards the outer circle. Are you guys following up with me? Okay, now people have slept. Come on, quickly. Seriously? Thank you. Thank you. Just okay, thank you. A couple of replies. Happy to see this. All right. So, as I showed you the reference, you might as well want to sharpen your pencil. We're gonna shade from the closed end of the texture towards the open side. That is somewhat like this. I'll just repeat it on an enlarged piece of paper. So what I'm saying is you have this diamond shape, right? You shade from the closed end like this. So you're gonna have the thicker strokes from the inner side. These strokes we made, right? We're just repeating the same thing, but the thicker portion remains from the closed end. Just repeat the same process for the circle, sorry, the shape facing towards the inner circle and the outer circle. The pencil you are using, sorry, I'll say, is from Staedtler. Yes, it is from Staedtler, but once again, actually, it's kind of the sort, it's kind of the opposite to that. What I have, the brand actually does not matter that much. Of course, it brings slight quality change, but if you don't know the right techniques to apply, no matter how good the brand of the pencil or the material you're using, the result is not going to get better. Okay. So with that being said, we have this texture made right here. After this, I'm just going to use an HP pencil and make lines from the inner portion like this. Make sure these lines don't touch the outer circle. Without touching the outer circle, actually, just draw somewhat like this. See, I'm keeping a good amount of gap in between the strokes. Do you see the results we're ending up with? I think it's good, expecting the time, considering that what we took drawing this. I messed up. Don't worry, don't worry. See, right now, if you mess up, it's good because either way, I'll be able to help you also. You might know how not to mess up next time. This time is not a competition with any of your fellow mates here, neither with me. It's just about learning the methods or techniques, right? So don't worry if you mess up. It's very fine. So I'm going to use a 2B pencil after this from this portion. Okay. This side right here. And I'll shade from dark to light. That is, from inner side, I will have the darkest shading. And as I progress towards the circle, I'll reduce the pressure on my pencil. Once again, if you observe, I'm using the same type of strokes I used at this point, this point. I'll just shade this slightly. If you hold your pencil like this, you'll be able to cover up more area and it'll get you slightly more smooth results. Okay. Observe this. You see, same texture we're trying to build up here. This one from this one. Of course, we cannot get the same results because we'll need to spend like 4 or 5 hours. But understanding the techniques and later on spending more and more time over this will help us the same way. So we have the first portion done. Second portion will be done in the same manner. That is, we'll darken the other portion. You see, if we keep the shading consistent, both of these areas will mix up, right? Then what is the logic of separating both of them? What we have to do, if we're going to darken the first portion, until it meets the second one, we have to reduce the shade. You see what I'm doing here? Both of these portions are separately visible and both of them are shaded and dark, right? We have a separation as well without the use of outlines. That's the main thing. We're not using any outlines to separate our drawings. With an HP pencil, I'm going to shade from this side very lightly. You see how I'm holding my pencil? Very light strokes to kind of add the same shadow from the other end. All right. After this, we'll go over the back side of this. I'm going to completely darken this portion up. Back side. All right. So I'm using a 3B pencil for those who don't know. 3B pencil. Okay. You see, changing up the contrast or the darkness of the pencils allows you to create more variation of tone, hence, giving you more realistic effect or depth onto your drawing. I'll give you an example about it. You see, when you see a picture that has very less contrast, if you try to, twitch with the editing of the photographs, you see when you reduce the contrast too much, the picture looks very dull, right? Because it doesn't have that darkness, that depth in it. That is what we are bringing here using different pencils, or at least using different pressure on our pencil, right? So we have the back end shaded very dark. Now after this, I'm going to use strokes in the same manner as in same angle, but we're going to follow up, okay? Like this. What this will do two things for us. Firstly, it will shade the portion. Also, it will add a slight texture to it that we need for the skin. You see, as I'm progressing down, I'm not keeping the shade constant. It's reducing slowly as I'm going down. Okay. The same thing we did at this corner, same thing we're applying here. You see, I've kept a slight gap in between the strokes right here, which is once again adding to slight texture to it, right? From the back end, you can see. Pratiksha, really good. Bit user. I don't know what your name is, but it's looking really good. Benuta is also doing really amazing. Cool, cool. See, you keep your cameras open. It helps me to, make sure everyone is taking there and working around with us. Okay. How is mine? So yeah, I checked bit user. I don't know what your name is. I checked the drawing. It's looking really good. Swapnil. Wow, Swapnil is doing really great. Myself, Sheetal. Sheetal, you have done really good job. Everyone is doing a really wonderful job. I'm just looking over the drawings. I'm just making sure we finish up in time. Okay. So after this, we'll follow up as we have done the back side of this. We'll follow up to draw the eyelashes. Come on, guys, quickly. We'll just go for the eyelashes portion. So eyelashes will start in the middle section. Remember, every eyelash should not be drawn separately, as in like somewhat like this. This is what usually people tend to do, right? Like this. But this doesn't look real at all. What we have to do is kind of group them together. That is, first of all, it'll be slight curve, and we'll keep changing the angle as we progress to the sides. So if I start in the middle section, have first portion here. I've joined two strokes from this side and two from other. So this is center, right? From this point, I'll just change the angle. The length should be varied. And if you observe, the roots of these portions are also visible. Okay. One problem that might come here, some of the students tend to color or fill up this portion. Don't do that. Just let the gap in between the strokes be there. That'll add to that texture we're looking for in the eyebrows. And this time, once again, if you didn't hear, this is a 6P pencil. See, the lengths are being varied to make sure a more natural effect is added to it. And as I progress towards the inner side of the upper area, I'm reducing the length of these strokes, right? But opposing that, in the other side, the length is going to increase as we progress. Now, for the lower side, the length of the strokes is comparatively going to be less, and the depth is also going to decrease, as in the density of the strokes, as in like the hairs are going to reduce in number. Once again, the strokes should not be completely straight or just separate, having same gaps in between every single stroke. There should be variation and also slight curvature to it. This time, from both ends, as you progress towards the corners, the length of the strokes or the hairs reduces. Great. So now what is left is the eyebrow section. Now, quickly understand about the eyebrow section. It's not actually one whole portion. There are three different portions of the eyebrows. That is the first section, which we divided from here, the second one also, and the third one. Second one is the most largest portion, as you can see. Now, sir, why do we have to divide these three sections? It's just for to make ease for us to draw the whole of these three portions. As in, first portion, the strokes go upwards. Okay, they face upwards. Second one, we go to the sides. And third one, it changes the direction one last time, so it goes downwards. What I mean by that, see, observe, not every single stroke is going to be completely upwards. Then it'll just look like buildings or something else. But right here, we want a natural look. It is facing upwards, but with a slight curvature and change to the angles as well, right? It goes up. On the second portion, we face to the sides, right? And the third one, it goes downwards. But also at the moments where it changes, it doesn't change abruptly. To make sure it looks natural, we have to slowly drift it to the other angle. Let's see how we do that. Strokes are started from the lower side with some gap in between and also overlapping. See, as I'm progressing towards the second portion, I've slowly changed the angle of the strokes. And now, as I progress, I'll just tilt it towards the side. And see, I'm not completely starting from the bottom this time. I'm adding strokes from the upper side as well. And some gap in between also. to make sure it adds to the texture. Now this gap also doesn't have to be equal every single time. See, we have this portion done. Now we can also add slight strokes from the upper side to kind of ease our direction to the third one. Okay, I've added some strokes on the upper side, right? Third section, strokes go downwards and we change the angle at this point. And just slowly shorten the length of the strokes. All right, there we have it. If you have completed up until here, quickly just show it on the camera. All right, cool. So guys, this is the finished result as of now because the setup time for the studying moments has been completed, and I've already taught you every single thing that you will find in this drawing. The skin area we have already done for the upper portion. The same thing will be applied from this side also. But only variation you can see here is the darkness of the tone, right? So for this time, you can use a 2B pencil to shade towards the upper section. It just opposes the rule we had here. So that is, we're starting from the lower side towards the upper section, following the same angle towards the upper portion. And the same thing happens this side, the same thing happens this portion. You can just take a screenshot of this, and I'll also share this onto the bit class community chat. All right, Said, you want to ask them about the class, how this was, the response and everything?
Yes, yes. As I can see the response myself, such amazing drawing. I am really shocked to see a lot of people here with such amazing talent. Literally, I can see the screens, like how Sheetal has done it, Sandeep has done it, like how
Of course.
Vinuta has done it, Akila has done it. Amazing. I am really, really shocked actually. I'm really, really shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. But I do want to know from all of you as well. Just put it in the comment, chat box that how was this session? Like, how amazing was it? I do want to know. I do want to know it in the chat section, guys. Go ahead and give some reactions. That's really nice. So, guys, there is, as I said you in the earlier, right? Now, before me, before sir starting the session, that's really nice. So sweet of all of you. As I said in the beginning, once you enter sir's session, you're not just gonna learn. It is an experience overall, right? It is not something which you can tell it to someone. It is something which you have to feel it by yourself, right? It is an experience of, yeah. So guys, before me, before sir starting the session, I said you all that I do have a very, very big surprise, right? Not a small surprise, very big surprise. So I will disclose it in a short while, in just 5 minutes. So, but before that, I do want to share a few points here. So I'm gonna be sharing. All right, just a second. Just a second. So I'm gonna be sharing you all few important things here, which will be included in the master class. So I'll be telling you the benefits of it. Just give me a second here.
Yashaswini, you have your mic on. Please, can you turn it off?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So yes, guys. Before me, sharing it to all of you guys, I do want to know a small thing. Like, who all are really excited about this big gift which I'm gonna give you all? Just put it in the chat section. I do want to know. I do want to know from every single person here because it has been a such amazing and interactive session today. Of course, all of us. That's really nice, Sheetal, Pavitra. That's really nice. Just a second. Okay, so I let me share the screen once, and I will first show you the details of the master class. Sir will be explaining you all about the curriculum, what and all is included